Next, we have our first understudy, our first Ignite substitution. It's actually kind of a cool story. On the roster tonight is Sinan, talking about one man's emissions, same man's treasure. Unfortunately, he's not feeling too well tonight, but his son, who's worked on the same project with him, is going to present in his place. An automotive mechanical engineer invented and patented a new technology that captures and stores vehicles' exhaust gases and then recycles the captured exhaust by using algae. Hey, algae again. It'll turn 10 billion tons of vehicle CO2 worldwide to 5 billion tons of algae biomass and algae biofuel. So let's welcome Yezem.
So one man's emissions, same man's treasure. Just to be clear, this presentation is about vehicle exhaust and not flatulence. All right. Now, some of you are probably aware that industry is already moving towards capturing and storing the exhaust gases of factories and power plants. Now, this is great, but what about the exhaust gases of vehicles? Now, I'm talking to you tonight about a new technology invented by my dad, which, when installed on a vehicle, will capture and store the exhaust gases of that vehicle. So this is answering the second side of the story. Now, imagine what would happen if not only we could make new vehicles in a way such that they are no longer emitting their CO2 into the atmosphere, but we could also make the approximately 1 billion vehicles on the road emissions-free as well. Now, the key to this technology is most of it is in the wheel rim of the vehicle on which it's installed, or wheel rims, as you can see with this 3D model that I really like. Now, why is this important? This is basically the key to understanding this technology. Because it's in the wheel rim, it can be installed on old vehicles and new vehicles alike. Installing it is just slightly more complicated than installing a new wheel, which you have to do all the time anyways, right? So, because approximately 1 billion vehicles already on the road are responsible for about 1/3 of the exhaust, the CO2 in the atmosphere, capturing all that, as I'm sure you can imagine, is huge. Now, one problem people bring up is you're capturing CO2, you're compressing it, pressure buildup. Is that dangerous? Now, for more information, you can visit our website. I'll tell you about it at the end, but rest assured that problem has been addressed. Now, not only will this technology be good for the environment, but it'll also be good for the pockets of the end users. One way for that is carbon credits. Now, they're a growing thing, and using this technology to capture your CO2 will generate carbon credits for you, so that's good for your pocket. Another way, as my friend Jeff was saying, is we're going to use the CO2 to recycle that CO2 with algae. Now, this is not a new thing. This is proven field. Research in this has been ongoing since 1955. From this algae biomass, you will get biofuels, fertilizer, and pharmaceutical products. So another way in this technology also helps the pockets of the end users. Now, a scenario would be you go out, you drive your car, this technology captures the CO2, you come home to a home bioreactor, you discharge your CO2 there, and it recycles it, and you make some money. It's pretty good. So that's what we mean by one man's exhaust is the same man's treasure. We're basically taking an old problem we're just approaching it in a new way. The technology is simple. It's just the way of thinking that's changed, and we're creating some value out of it. Now, so imagine what would happen if we installed this technology in every vehicle already on the road. Your vehicle, you would be guilt-free coming here tonight, driving here tonight. So we would be able to capture the CO2 of about 1 billion vehicles we've already talked about. This is not just a pipe dream. What you see here is my favorite motorcycle. It's a working prototype. We use that wheel as basically the technology, and that captures and stores the exhaust gases of that motorcycle. Our next project, which I want to talk to you about, is we're building a bus We're installing the technology on this bus, and we are also going to have an onboard lab to show people the numbers. We want to drive around this bus, show people what we can do, as well as have their cycling of algae on board. Now, we are going to take this bus to the December Climate Change Conference. This year it's going to be in South Africa. Because the world will be watching, we want the world to see what this technology can do. So, how can you help? You don't have to reinvent the wheel. We already did that. One way to help is, well, we're actually, a lot of us are working on this because we believe in this right now. You can join the team. We'd love to have you on board. The bus project still needs some financial support, so any little bit counts. That's, at the same time, you can actually, if you have your own project, the way you want to approach this, which a few people have had, and and they're starting on it right now. You can come and approach us, and we'll probably work with you. Thank you. One thing. The website, I promised you, it's greenpatent.org. You'll find more information about the technology there. Oh yeah, that's probably good. Greenpatent.org. By the way, I promised my dad I'd tell you this technology has been patented in Canada. All right.